What's up, everybody? This is Earl from Almighty Fitness, Inc., and I want to welcome you back to the Choppin' the F.A.T podcast, brought to you by Ninja Play. What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. This is episode 3 of the Choppin' the F.A.T podcast, and things have been good so far. We had Larry Young of Forever Young Wellness on last week, and that was a great job as we talked about the pros and cons of personal training. And this week, I'm by myself, so just tune in and bear with me. Not going to keep you long today, but I did want to talk about something dope, just about hydration and how we often get it wrong, and how a lot of times it's a lot of our issues, a lot of our health issues, things that come up that we're dealing with. And we're like, why is this happening? We don't really realize that we're just dehydrated a lot of the time. So I just want to talk about hydration today. What is hydration, right? So this is just off the internet. Hydration is the replacement of body fluids lost through sweating and eliminating waste. On average, the body loses and needs to replace about 2/3 quarts of water daily. Luckily, many of us can get some of that through our foods, but the problem is a lot of us don't eat a lot of like fruits. We don't eat a lot of vegetables, which are foods that contain water. So a lot of times we get water from those things, and a lot of that starts to become our issues. So I want to talk about like the key role that water plays in our body, right? It plays a key role in many of the body's functions, including bringing nutrients to the cells, getting rid of waste, protecting joints and organs, maintaining body temperature. Water aids the digestive system, helps prevent constipation, promotes good kidney function. It keeps your joints and muscles lubricated and supports healthier and younger looking skin. Who doesn't want to look and feel younger? So a lot of people don't know that hydration is a big part of our skin issues that we have. And this time, everybody has a skin regimen, something they do when they get up in the morning, they wash, they scrub, they do all of these things. But the main component, and most of them are forgetting, is to be properly hydrated. That will help your skin tremendously. So we know this, right? 60% of our body is made of water. Now, here's what we don't know. 1/3 of that is made out of salt water. Yes, salt water, the swear word, salt. Think about it though. When you cry, right, it's salty. When you sweat, it's salty. And when you pee out salt. So that tells me that our body needs salt. And we should be consuming salt when it comes to hydration. But we'll talk about that. Salt is a whole nother episode in itself. We'll talk about that later on. Right now, we just want to get to the hydration part. So here's a good thing for people in fitness, right? When you are working out, oftentimes a lot of us, we work out, our body temperature gets up, our heart rate's up, we start to sweat. Now, we often think that when we're sweating, we're just sweating out water. Well, that's not really true. You're also sweating out a lot of minerals in your body. You're also sweating out salt. So here's a list of some of the things that you are losing. And this is with 1 hour of sweating. You are sweating out salt, iodine, selenium, potassium, magnesium, chromium, calcium, copper, zinc, iron, and water, of course. So we have to make sure that we are replacing something very important to our hydration, which is called electrolytes, right? Every single day we have to replace our electrolytes, every day. So think about this. I got this stat from James Nicholson, I believe his name is. He wrote the book called The Salt Fix. It is an amazing book. Actually, I don't want to cheat y'all. Let me say his name correctly. 1 second. His name is James DiNicolantonio. That's his name. I got this from him. 1 hour of sweating, sodium, you lose 1,200 milligrams. Chloride, you lose 1,725 milligrams. Potassium, you lose 140 milligrams. Calcium, 40 milligrams. Magnesium, 8 to 10 milligrams. Then you lose iron. It's about 0.16 to 0.63 milligrams. Copper, 0.4 milligrams. Zinc, 0.4 milligrams. Iodine, 51 mcg. Selenium, 40 mcg. And then chromium, 7.5 milligrams. That's within 1 hour of sweating. So let's think about this, right? You're losing all these minerals after 1 hour. Sometimes guys like me, I like to work out for an hour and a half, 2 hours, right? So I'm looking at the fact that I lost double that. And then I'm leaving the gym and I am just consuming water, right? I'm not replacing any of those electrolytes, any of those minerals with that. A lot of times you do get some of these minerals in your protein shakes, which do help, but oftentimes it's not enough. But water alone is not hydration. So just drinking this all day is not hydration. Drinking water alone can actually dehydrate you. Why is that? You ever drink water all day and find out that you're peeing all day long, right? We think that that's what we're supposed to be doing. And what happens is you are peeing all day, but you start to pee out, you're peeing out salt, so that leads to low sodium levels, and you flush out those electrolytes that we need for hydration. So you necessarily don't want to be just drinking water all day. You need to include those electrolytes in it. So what do you need for full hydration? Let's talk about this, because this is going to be good. What do you need for full hydration? Obviously, we need water. Check. You need your electrolytes. These are your electrolytes: sodium, chloride, potassium, magnesium. Sodium and chloride are your extracellulars, right? That means fluid outside of the cells. And then your potassium and your magnesium is called intracellular, which is the fluid inside of the cells. You have to replace those electrolytes. What do electrolytes do? All right, let's talk about it. This is what they do. Your cells they use electrolytes to conduct electrical charges, which is how your muscles contract. Very important. Those same electrical charges also help with chemical reactions, especially when it comes to hydration and the balance of fluids inside and outside of the cells. So they're super important to have, right? So how do you know when you're deficient in those areas of electrolytes? Well, here's some of the signs. Let's see. Muscle cramps. How many of y'all ever worked out or in that middle of the night, that waking up, that cramp, the calf cramp? Oh my God, that will take you out. You'll be on the floor crying in pain. That didn't brought some of the toughest guys down, toughest girls down, those cramps. But muscle cramps, feeling tired. If you feel weak, like sluggish throughout the day, irregular heartbeat. That's something that we don't often talk about. Dizziness, confusion, headaches. That's just to name a few of them that happens when you're not giving yourself the proper electrolytes. So you have to start your day with electrolyte water, right? So what does that look like? Electrolyte water. Now, here's the thing. I learned this recently. We go to the store, right? And a lot of the times we buy electrolyte drinks. You name it. They're all out there, right? But you're not going to find a drink that has all of those components of the electrolytes. They always say, hey, get this electrolyte drink, which is, to me, is a scam. It should say electrolyte, not electrolytes, because oftentimes they only have one electrolyte in it. Sometimes you can get away, they might have two. Sometimes they might have three, but they'll never have all of the components of the electrolytes. So that's one of the things I had to learn. Like, for instance, I'm trying to think of a water, Evian water, right? Evian water has potassium, magnesium, and chloride, right? It doesn't have a lot of them in it, but it does have it, but it doesn't have sodium in it. So it's missing. So a lot of times if I'm on the go, I might grab that water. I always keep some salt with me. I'll throw a teaspoon of salt in that, and I'll sip on that just to give me that full hydration. So when you are buying electrolyte waters, read your labels. Read the labels. They're going to tell you exactly what electrolytes in there and how much of it that is giving you. Sometimes it would even say magnesium, and it'll say 1 gram, like So that makes it an electrolyte water because it just has 1 gram of that. Like, no, we need a sufficient amount. I just told you a little further about how much of those minerals we lose within 1 hour of sweating. So if you're drinking water and it doesn't really have that much of those electrolytes in it, you're really not rehydrating your body. So oftentimes I start my day with hydration, right? So 2 ways I do this. Something I'll do, because when you sleep at night, you are sweating. 90% of the time when you wake up in the morning, you are dehydrated. You're under the covers. Even if you don't think that you're pouring sweat, your body is still getting hot and you are still, sweating a little bit. So oftentimes when you wake up, you are dehydrated. So you need to start your day with some type of hydration. So typically one of the things that I like to do is I'll take some water. I'll take a tablespoon of salt, which is I think it's like 1,000 mg. When you do a teaspoon of salt, right? No, it's a tablespoon of salt. And you do that with some water, like 20 to 24 ounces of water. Sometimes I'll squeeze some key lime in it or some lemon to help with the dehydration and also just the hydration component too. I'll start my day like that. I promise you'll feel more energized, you'll feel more awake just doing that. It works better than if you do coffee. Coffee dehydrates you. Coffee, you lose a lot of your electrolytes too, just drinking coffee. So a lot of times if you're a heavy coffee drinker, you're probably dehydrated 90% of the time. So you want to try salt water. That salt, once it gets into your bloodstream, you're gonna feel energized. It's like one of the best pre-workouts that you can do. So you can do that, or you can buy some electrolyte like supplements. Like one of the ones I use, I like Relight. I'll post a picture up beside me on the screen so you can see. This is one of the only few electrolyte powders that I like, and because it has, first of all, it's no sugar, 0 calories, right? It has coconut water, potassium, sodium, chloride, magnesium, calcium, right? It has all of that in there. And this is in 1 scoop, you're getting a sufficient amount. So for me, if I'm working out for an hour and more than an hour, after I'm done, I'm probably going to take 2 scoops of this and like 30 ounces of water just to give me back my full hydration. So you want to try something like Relight. There's a bunch of other brands out there as well that help with getting those in, but you definitely need to do that. You have to do that. What was I going to say? Salt is a big thing. So salt helps with maintaining the proper hydration. So not getting enough of it will lead to dehydration, especially if you work out hard. Like you work out 2 hours. So imagine working out 2 hours, right? And then doing something like going to get in a sauna after you worked out. Yo, you just sweated out all that water. Then you went into a sauna and pulled out even more of that water. That's like a quick, easy sign for dehydration. So you should definitely be replenishing that when soon as you get a chance. I know I saw this thing the other day. Ideally, 3,000 to 5,000 milligrams of sodium a day is optimal for health, right? That sounds scary, right? But it's really not. Like I think the media and society has told us that salt was the problem, but it's really not our issue. Our issue is the other S word, sugar, all right? So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when I come back, we're going to discuss hydration a little further. So stay tuned. If you're a gym owner or looking to add some equipment to your own home gym, you got to grab the Ninja Plate Gravity Gym. This pull-up machine has over 50 training variations. You'll love it. Why not train hard and have some fun while you do it? Click the link in the comments and purchase yours now. All right, so we're back. We talked about hydration. I just wanted to share some testimonies of like what proper hydration can do. I seen one of my friends. She posted something and she was talking about how she was having high blood pressure, right? And she went to the doctors, EKGs, all of that. They were doing all of that. So instead of asking her like, "Hey, are you hydrated?" or "Let me check your sodium levels. Let me check your potassium levels. Let me check your let me check all the hydration component levels." No, they just passed her on and gave her high blood pressure pills. And when I saw her post, I reached out to her because I kind of knew what it was, because I know this person. And I know that sugar causes high blood pressure. It's not salt, it's sugar. And I know this person, they don't eat sugar like that. So when I hit her up, let me see if I can find it, what we was talking about. I'm gonna tell you in a second. Don't bear with me. Bear with me. I just want to make sure I'm giving you the real. I'm giving you the real. Oh, so yeah, so I hit her up and we were talking, and I said, listen, she's been working out, right? Struggling because she's having her heart rate is up. She's been working out. First of all, she was working out, and then she was doing a sauna after her workouts a couple times a week. So I already knew. I'm like, okay, dehydration, red flag. And when she did that, right, then over time, her blood pressure started going up. She started, her heart started racing during her workouts, like sky high, like almost up there, 200s almost. And she was having a hard time getting through the workouts and things like that because of her heart rate. She had to stop and take rest. She couldn't get her full, give it her all because of how she was feeling. That's what led her to go to the hospital. They gave her the blood pressure medicine. Blood pressure medicine she's working out super hard. Blood pressure ain't going nowhere. And she's getting headaches and all other kind of symptoms because of the blood pressure. So I said, all right, so you don't eat sugar, so that's not the issue. So you have to be dehydrated. It has to be one of those other components. So I told her, I said, listen, do this when you get up in the morning. I told her to do the salt water with the lemon, right? And I know after her workout, I told her do the salt with the lemon and stuff. Then she texted me a picture of her blood pressure machine and how her blood pressure went down. And it was a late text, and she was just saying, sorry, I know it's late, but I had to show you this. First time low in a couple of weeks. And she was saying she did the lemon, coconut water, Himalaya salt, and she just said her blood pressure dropped dramatically. And she was just thanking me for that. So then the next couple of days, she kept doing the hydration stuff. She kept doing it. She's like, I feel amazing. I feel lighter. I stopped taking the blood pressure medicine because it was making her feel crazy. And she just feel like she doesn't even need it anymore. So she started doing that. She said she feel like she took her workouts to another level, just being properly hydrated. And then again, days went on, she started sending me more of her blood pressure readings. It went back down to 138, 132, going all the way down, just from proper hydration. It is super important. We talked about magnesium. I had her buy some magnesium. I had her actually buy this Relight as well so that she can start having full hydration if she's going to be using a sauna. And even that, the magnesium, which also helps too with if you have a headache. She's been having crazy headaches. The magnesium instantly, she said, took her headaches away. So it's super important. Like, you have to hydrate. And if you are having high blood pressure, make sure you ask your doctor to check your levels, your electrolyte levels, your sodium levels, potassium, magnesium, chloride. Check your levels, see where they are. Because if they're low, that's probably why you're having some high blood pressure issues, especially if your salt is low. So give it a shot. Give it a shot. All I'm saying is that there are a lot of benefits to having proper hydration. So listen, I hope that this was super helpful. I'm just talking about something that's very, very, I'm passionate about with this hydration, because we just got it wrong for so many years. And I feel like it could save a lot of lives if we just knew the proper way to be hydrated and what we should be consuming, what we can and can't not consume when it comes to hydration and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, man, it will change your workout. It will change how you feel throughout your day. You add that on with just getting out the house and getting some good old sunlight and exercising, and I'm telling you, you'll be a beast. Absolute beast. I promise you. You'll be commenting in the sections talking about how great you feel. So listen, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Choppin' the Fat. This is episode 3. So I hope you tune in next week for another edition. We'll see. I don't know what we'll talk about, but also drop some comments drop some feedback in the comment section about this episode, and also too, what you want to see on the next episode, what you think would be dope for me to do, somebody you want me to bring on, something that can help you along your fitness journey. But I appreciate y'all coming to Chop the Fat with me. See you next week. You already know what it is. No shortcuts, just hard work. See you next episode.